Good Mom and Monday. You're here at the Mistaken Mama podcast. I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Mandee.
And we are your hosts.
This week we're going to be talking about birthdays. Probably mostly the kids, but we probably will sprinkle in maybe our experiences having birthdays as
Throw in
kids.
a little bit there.
Yeah. I'd like to preface this with the allergy count where we are is astronomical. And I'm getting hit hard.
Yeah, I think you said this morning, what, like 200? Is it like particles per something?
I don't know the measurement, but 200 is considered very high. Mm-hmm. And yesterday it was at 1,301.
So if anyone is curious what Oregon is like right now, that's what Oregon's like right now.
It's awful. And I already have allergies. There could be 20 in the air and I'm like,
Yep. For me, it's still pretty mild. Mm-hmm. But I'm a little stuffy.
Yeah. I get really stuffy. My throat is itchy and
my
sore.
throat's been itchy.
My eyes get like heavy where I can't open them. They get red. They get crazy. Yeah. So we're going through it. So excuse if you can hear that in our voice, and we will try to keep the coughing and sniffling to a minimum. So let's start with our wins, fails, and books.
Okay.
So what is your win for this week?
My win for this week, a little bit of a weird one. So Anna has a tendency of like ripping out her soft pants, the knees of them, and I turned them into shorts.
Oh, cute!
I did like 3 of them this week, so
cute.
Now they're shorts and they're decent looking. Got a nice rolled edge and everything. It's beautiful. Mwah.
Nice.
Chef's kiss.
What is my win?
I don't know. What is it?
Good question. I guess it's not really my win, but my brother graduated high school yesterday, and he graduated with like honors and all this stuff. He had so much stuff on his gown.
Sorry I couldn't make it.
It's okay. My fail is that we had to leave early.
Oh.
So it was like 88 degrees.
Hot.
I already don't do good in the heat. Then my allergies, because like I said, it was 1,301, were atrocious. I was starting to not be able to breathe. I forgot my inhaler.
Oh no.
Then the kids were both hot. They were getting cranky. We made it until just they said Dylan's name. And I turned to Michael and I said, okay, we can go. So I didn't get to take pictures with him afterwards, but
I mean, I guess technically he can just put all of his stuff back on again.
That's what I figured. He's having a graduation party this weekend, so I figure he could put
I'm
it
going
on.
to that.
Yes, and we could just take pictures there. So, So yeah, there's my win, fail.
Win, fail.
What about your fail?
My fail. So this past weekend this past week, weekend, I guess. Our town put on like a little parade and festival. And my daughter was supposed to be performing. You already know this, but I'm telling them.
Right.
My daughter was supposed to be performing a ballet routine with her, the studio that she's with, at the festival. Well, the parade got over at like 1-ish. I think it was more like 12:35.
I think so.
Because I left at like 12:35.
Yeah.
I had intended on it being done at around 1, so I thought I was leaving a half an hour early to be smart. She was supposed to perform at 2:15. I didn't get into the festival until like almost 2:45. Yeah,
and you would think that an hour and 45 minutes extra time should have been plenty.
No,
it was a massive line to get in the festival.
It literally took me like 20 minutes just to move an entire block. Yeah. To get from where we had parked to the entrance to where I live, which is like less than a block.
Yeah.
Took so long.
So I didn't want to tell you this when it was happening because I knew that you were already upset. So I didn't want to tell you this.
Okay, well now I'm listening.
We left the parade after you.
Yeah, and you got there before me.
We also stopped at the house.
Oh my God.
Went pee. Let out the dogs, and then still managed to get there before. I think the only reason, though, is because, we took back roads, which there was a line there, too, but Michael kind of cut off a lot of people. So I think that's the only reason we got through, because if we would have went how we were supposed to and gone all the way back into line, then we definitely would have been there after you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm pretty pretty flustered. One, this is my first time ever going to that festival. And they were like, oh, it's at this place. So I put that place into my map, and it did not take me to the festival.
Right.
I was very upset.
Because there's 2 entrances to said place, and one's literally like on the opposite side of town.
Yeah.
Not really, but to get there, it is.
And I went to apparently the wrong one. I had a 50% chance and I failed.
Yeah.
So she completely missed her performance. Thankfully, she wasn't angry about it. I was.
Right. She seemed pretty okay with it. I think she was just probably so much simulation from everything going on. She didn't have time to be upset about it.
To add to the fail, we all got burned.
Oh.
We got major sunburns.
So
I don't
burnt.
think you can... Hold on.
I don't know.
It's been a...
We're pretty blown out on there.
It's been a couple days. You can see
you can see yours for sure.
It's been a couple days because that was on Saturday and it is Wednesday now. So
yeah, both my babies got burnt.
Yeah,
and we both applied sunscreen like 3 times.
Yeah,
they still burn.
Yeah, I'm white as a pastry though. So actually, a pastry might be rounder than me. I'm the dough.
Yeah. There you go.
I just guess kind of win then. My oldest, because my husband is, he's kind of a mix of things. He's like 70%, or 75 or something European, but then the remaining percentages is Filipino and Pacific Islander.
Right.
That is his chef's kiss, right? And so my oldest got all of that.
Right. So
she's a tan baby.
The tan.
She didn't burn. Not even a hint of red.
I wish.
My other 2, my son, he's still red.
Oh.
Not as much.
Yeah.
But he's still red. He's redder than I am.
Paler than you are.
He got all the European. He didn't get any Filipino or Islander.
No. He skipped that.
He's my pasty baby.
Yeah.
He's also blonde and got hazel eyes. And so he got like all of the pale genes. He's my adopted baby. And then my youngest, Ellie, she's kind of a mix in between. Like she's got a little bit of her dad's olive.
Yeah.
I will say her swirl looks really cool on her arm.
Oh, I bet. Now that it's all tanned up.
Yep. And so you got very big distinctions now. Yeah. It's really cool.
Oh my God.
For those of you that don't know, my kid has a skin thing where she has this giant like swirl of a lack of pigmentation. It's part of a rare genetic disorder, and it doesn't tan. And so when she tans, it gets
whiter.
Pale.
Well, it looks whiter.
It looks whiter
because
in
it's
comparison.
on contrast.
Yep, and it goes like it's on her side, and then it goes down her arm and under her hand, and so you can really see it, and it looks pretty cool.
That is cool.
So there's our wins and our fails.
There they are. Books.
So, what book you reading? You've got an update.
I finished book 1, guys. And just like her other books, like the last 25% was, I can't put this book down. So that's why I just busted through it and finished it. Nice. Long book. Now I'm on book 2, which is
equally as long.
I think just the same amount of pages.
Roughly.
Yeah.
Might as well be.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Starting that now, so you might hear me say I'm on Crescent City book 2, which I think this one's House of Sky and Breath.
I mean, does it matter what the title is?
You know what I'm talking about.
And the 3rd book doesn't come out for
till January 20th something of next year.
Oh, Jesus. So I need to start reading this in like November.
Well, yeah. Takes me about a month to get through it, apparently. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So I guess around Thanksgiving you'll see me being like, I'm reading book 1. Yeah.
It was really good though.
It sounds
it was
good.
Worth it.
I may have to bust out the audio for that. I don't want to though.
Yeah.
I want to because they don't have the graphics because of course not.
Oh, right.
I think they're trying to get all of their stuff on graphics, but those take so long. I mean, it's basically like making a movie.
Yeah.
Except without video, it's just sound, but like you have all that other stuff.
Right. I will say by the end of it, when it got to like the intense parts, I really appreciated the 3rd person.
Oh, okay.
Which I did not think I would, but I did. Once you read it, you'll know.
I was about to ask, and then I was like, I don't want to know. Because I want to wait to know. So I'll wait.
Yeah.
We can talk about it in a few months when I read it.
Yes. So what book are you reading?
So I'm still reading the final book in A Court of Thorns and Roses. That one's taking me a little bit longer. I think it's the transition from going from the audio to the book.
Yeah.
But so far I'm liking it. I am still also reading Fourth Wing. That one is me and Thomas reading that one. So that one's probably going to be on the slower side because you only read about a chapter at a time. And it's several days in between each time you read chapters. I also started, for research purposes, reading 1984 and Animal Farm, both by George Orwell.
I don't think I've heard of those.
They're old.
Okay.
I'm reading them for the book that I'm writing.
Oh, okay.
I need them for
the 80s.
Yep.
1984, that's what you said. I thought you said 74.
Nope. The book is called 1984, which ironically enough is the year that the book is set in.
Okay, cool.
Which, and both of those books have prevalence in the book that I'm writing.
Awesome.
Right now, so yeah. And I'm about a third of the way done writing Take as of today.
Nice.
So there's our wins, fails, and books.
There they are.
Oh, so birthdays.
So 3 out of our 5 kids have birthdays in the holidays.
Yeah.
Quincy, then Anna, then Maverick. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is.
We were just talking, Michael and I were just talking about this the other day, because I feel like when you have a kid that has a birthday towards the holidays, you almost have to plan it way in advance because people are busy. It's the holidays. People travel, people are doing family things, whatever. So we really want to do this year the Carousel, which is just a town over from us. And you have to book that like really far in advance.
Really?
So like we need to do it like now.
Oh.
Because last year we tried to do it and we were looking, I think, September. His birthday's in December. And it was already booked out.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just figure out a day and I'll work Anna's birthday around that.
Yeah, I know. I have to like be in communication with you. And then my friend Taylor, her kid is born like around December 5th and Maverick's December 2nd. I think it's December 5th. Somewhere in there. And so I'm like, I'm going to do his birthday this weekend. Can you do it the following week? Or the day after or something?
Yeah, it's pretty much like Anna's birthday party and then immediately followed by Maverick's birthday party and then your friend's baby's birthday party. And Quincy's is just a little bit before Anna's, right? Oh, wait, hold on.
Yes, 18th.
18th. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Like the week before.
Jesus, we're going to have...
It's literally like, okay, Quincy's birthday. Thanksgiving.
And then Anna's birthday.
Maverick's birthday, my friend Taylor's kid's birthday, Michael's birthday, and then Christmas.
Funny enough, I don't think Anna's birthday is ever before Thanksgiving, but it does sometimes fall on it.
On it, that's right.
Yeah. Once every, I think it's 8 years.
That's crazy.
Her birthday falls on Thanksgiving, and then the following year it falls on Black Friday.
Oh, okay, yeah. Has it fallen on Thanksgiving yet?
Nope.
Okay.
I think it will on her 8th, and then again on her 16th.
Okay.
I know.
You have to plan something like the week before or something.
I know.
Man, birthdays are, I feel like they're so much fun, but being a mom and having to plan it all, you almost don't get to enjoy it because you're the one that's trying to like run it.
Yeah.
You know? And then you look back at the pictures and you're like, oh, that looked like it was so much fun. Why was I so stressed out?
And then you realize, oh, I wasn't in any of these.
Yeah. I took all these.
So busy trying to make sure that it's a perfect party that you're stressing yourself out. You're not in any of the pictures. And you're like, was I even there?
Did I show up? Yeah, I get that.
I will be at Maverick's birthday this year. I am vowing it. I cannot.
Kaylee has missed Maverick's birthday the first year and the second year due to illnesses.
The first year, I was, I think, violently sick. But why was I violently sick? Oh, because I was pregnant with Ellie.
Yeah, you were pregnant with Ellie.
Yep.
You were in the hospital.
I was in, yes. It was the, I think, one and only time I went to the hospital was on his birthday party. Because of course. I was so mad, but I was like, and I was trying to push through it so hard. And Thomas was like, Are you okay? As I'm like sitting on the floor.
I know. I remember you
toilet.
texted me. You're like, I have to go into the ER. I'm not going to make it to Maverick's birthday. And I was like, please take care of yourself.
I sent my husband and my other kids though, so they at least got, not everybody else missed it, but I missed it. And what happened this year? Why didn't I go this year?
Was this
the
time that you guys got COVID?
It was.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Because of course. I will. I will
You're
go.
rolling in just sick. You're like, I said I would be here.
I got like one of them giant masks on.
Oxygen tank rolling behind you. You're like, I said I would be here.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, man.
I will. I promise.
We'll see. I'm just kidding.
I will do everything I can.
That's the other thing, is that they're all in the late fall, early winter time.
Yeah.
So people get sick around that time.
Yeah. The holidays, and it's expensive, which makes it hard too when you have that many birthdays, because then it's like, okay.
Very. I feel like because I have you and my other friends that have a lot of small kids around my kids' age, we have a lot of birthdays throughout the year.
Yeah.
Just a lot of parties. So
Gotta set yourself a limit.
yeah, it's like 20 to 30 is my limit, because we have so many.
Yeah.
And then because Maverick's birthday is so close to Christmas, and now so is Quincy, for Maverick, we do one big gift on his birthday and then more gifts on Christmas, because we figure he has a birthday party, so people are getting him gifts anyway, so it's not like he's missing out. Versus we have to budget somehow, you know. Yeah. So, but Christmas, nobody's buying like a bunch of Christmas gifts for one kid, you know. Like my mom might buy something, or you and I have talked about maybe doing something for the kids here and there, but typically it's the parents that are buying the majority of them. So we figure one big gift for your birthday, and you can have multiple gifts for Christmas.
Yep.
So that's what works for us, and I think we're going to do that for Quincy too.
Yeah, that's kind of what we have going for Anna. It's not necessarily the same for the other two, so we try to balance it as much as possible for Anna, because I don't want it to feel like her birthday's gypped. Right. You know? And so, because her birthday is November 27th. My other two, they're my summer babies. My youngest is about to turn 1.
Yeah.
Her birthday party is in 2 days.
That's right.
It's in 2 days. And then her actual birthday is in a week and 2 days.
Which is crazy.
I'm not ready for my baby to be 1. I just had her. I swear.
So you're going to have a 1, 3, and 6?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
And I'm going to have a 1 and a 3-year-old. Jeez Louise. What have we got ourselves into?
I know. Birthdays are hard, man.
Birthdays are hard.
Anna's the only one who, I mean, I guess technically Ellie's also not summer. Technically.
Oh, because she's late spring.
Yeah, but like just barely. It's basically summer though.
Right, yeah.
Might as well be. But like in formality wise, you know, technically too, Anna's fall, not winter, even though she's almost December.
Yeah.
But Anna's the only one who isn't born in the summer months of like June, July, August.
Right.
Because it's Ellie in June.
Yep.
Thomas and Damon in July, 10 days apart.
And then you in August.
And then me in late August.
Yep.
So there's a lot in those 3 months. So like late spring, summer, and then late fall and winter. We're just
constant.
It's constant, yeah. At least like late winter, early spring. So far, there's nothing. And then early or late summer going into September, and early fall, there's also nothing.
Yeah, we have, my birthday's in May. Well, so it goes, Brady, my brother, is January. My mom's February.
Oh, God.
Then me and my dad are May.
Right.
And then
So for you, it's all
your
year long.
family. And then September, Michael has a lot on his family.
Oh, no.
Like a lot. Like a lot. And then it's... Oh, and March is Taylor's birthday.
Oh, of course.
So that there's also that up there. And then, yeah. And then it's the rest of the kids down below.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like I'm constantly, every month, I'm like, whose birthday is it this month?
Yeah.
What do I need to buy?
That's the only crummy thing about having big families.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, Thomas has, like, all of his siblings, and he doesn't remember when half of their birthdays are. Granted, he's not close to half of them, but he's like, well, shit, when's Louie's birthday?
Yeah. Man. Oh, and Dylan's in October.
Right.
So literally, like, I think every month.
And I mean, if we count everybody else, Jude's in December. Jude is, like, right before my anniversary or right after.
Isn't he, like, close to New Year's?
No.
Oh.
He's the 23rd.
23rd.
Which is the day
Okay.
after my anniversary.
And Michael's friend, who he's, like, the same age minus a couple days, is on the 23rd.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so they're trying to plan, because this is the year that they both turned 30.
Right.
So we're
Dirty
trying to plan like a dirty
30.
30, and we want to send them to Vegas together.
Oh, fun.
But also tickets for Vegas in December, that close.
Expensive.
It's so expensive. So we're trying to figure out a month that we're not busy
Yeah.
earlier in the year that they can go. But they'll figure that out.
Yeah.
I'm not going, so they can figure that out.
Jeez, that's crazy. Ugh.
Yeah.
This coffee is like room temp.
So is mine. So when it comes to your kids' birthdays, do you tend to do something like big on their first, little for the rest of them until they get to a certain age? Or how do you gauge how big your party is, what you're doing?
That's a good question. So Anna's first birthday was actually the biggest out of all of the parties that I've had at all. Every other birthday for every other kid, including her other birthdays, have only ever been just family.
Right.
And it's whatever family is close by or can make it. But her first birthday, because she went to a daycare and I was working at the time, we invited all of the people that knew her and loved her.
Right.
We now no longer live anywhere near there. And so for me, it's, at least as of right now, what family is around that I'm talking to.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You know, because I mean, like, my entire side for my dad, we don't talk to any of them. We don't talk to hardly anybody of Thomas's family. And so it's kind of just you guys. And so it's like, who's around that can make it?
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm also like kind of a shy person, so I don't make mom friends very well.
Right.
And so I don't have a ton of that. I'm hoping, because like Anna's in gymnastics.
Right.
I'm hoping that she'll make friends that I can invite.
That's what I was going to
For
ask you,
that?
if you think maybe now that she's involved in stuff.
I'm hoping I'll be able to just have her pass out some invitations like right after gymnastics one day closer to her birthday. I'll have to figure out what I want to do for her birthday though, because I don't know.
True, yeah. And I guess it will depend on, it sucks because it kind of depends on how many people come as to where you go.
Literally. Because like my apartment has like no guest parking. And even so, a lot of our tenants use the guest parking.
Right.
So,
because even when you had the small one this last year for Anna, we almost didn't have a parking spot.
yeah.
And it wasn't like you were inviting 50 people.
And now there's going to be even less because they're putting the gate and then all the
right.
guest parking is going to be out. And I think they're like minimizing guest parking by like 10 spaces. So there's going to be 0.
Great. So we're going to all be parking at the bowling alley.
The
or
bowling
the church.
alley or the church right next door. Yeah.
Which I guess works, but.
Yeah. And then in addition to like people coming too, you also have to think like, well, if we go somewhere that's going to cost money, like the bowling alley, do I pay for people? Do they pay for their own lane?
Right.
Because nobody wants to pay for a party when they're going to already have to be buying a gift and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. That's like, we did the bowling alley last year for Maverick, and the one here in town isn't bad.
No, not too bad.
But it came with like, I think up to 6 people could bowl. So I decided, because I was asking my mom that same question. I'm like, do I pay for everybody to be able to bowl? Like, how do I do that? And she said that she's always just done pay for the kids that you know are going to come. And then if the adults or any older kids want to bowl, then they have to figure that out themselves.
That's a good idea.
And I was like, that's fair, because I can't be, forking out all this money for everybody to bowl. That'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with the 6, it would have been perfect, but then year 2 didn't come. That would have bowled. So then there was 2 open slots, and I think some of the teenagers just bowled instead.
And then it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. By some of the teenagers, you mean your brothers?
I think it was my brother and Michael's sister.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Michael's sisters went too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where I sit there. It's hard because, like, sometimes I feel like I'm gypping my kids out of, like, good birthdays when I'm not inviting a million people. Like Ellie, for her party in a couple days, I literally invited you, your mom, and my mom.
Yeah.
That's it. Period. I mean, your mom can include.
Right.
She has that open invitation, and you have your open invitation, obviously.
Right.
But
yeah, I think once they're older though, and like they're into different events like Anna is, I think that they will have more friends that they can invite, and then it won't feel like they're having such a small party.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. And that's the only shitty thing about, like, them being in homeschool is they have less opportunities to make friends.
Right.
Which is why we're so big on being like, okay, well, I want to put you in something.
Right. Sports or activities or.
Yep. And so that's why Anna's in gymnastics, and she loves gymnastics. And so I'm glad. And she is making friends there. She has like one specific person that she's like friends with. And Thomas and her mom talk sometimes. I'm too shy. So
yeah,
I can't.
I get that.
And so they've talked on occasion. And I'm hoping that come November, I can
invite them.
Yes. That's my plan.
I think it'll work out.
Fingers crossed.
Because I think even if Anna's just showing interest, you don't necessarily have to like the parents. Obviously, if they're bad, I don't think they're bad people, but you know what I mean? Then obviously not. But I think if she has the friends that are like, I want to invite Annabelle.
Yeah. I think for birthdays, it's that simple.
Yeah.
It's beyond birthdays that then cause its own set of problems, which we'll get into eventually.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your approach on that?
I've always had the idea of doing a big first birthday and then keeping the other ones kind of more laid back. Especially last year with Mavericks, we did go bowling, but I kind of kept it more casual because I was just after having Quincy. And so I didn't want it to be a chaotic event. I didn't want to have to do a lot of planning. And so the bowling alley, we just brought I think we brought a balloon and I made some cupcakes. And that was all I did.
Works.
And then I was able to I was more present, I think, at this party than Mavericks First. Because Mavericks First, I kind of went all out on things. So I'll probably do that for Quincy. I also kind of feel like after I only have one other child, but having multiple children, you tend to kind of...
I think I know where you're going with this.
I don't want to say like it's not as special anymore, because that's not true. I think it's still very special, but it's like you don't feel, I don't know, the need to make it like a massive event. Am I explaining this right?
The way that I'm interpreting what you're saying is kind of like, so with Anna being my first child, I wanted to go all out from the get-go.
Yeah.
Right? But then with Damon, I had already experienced that, and I realized that she didn't give a rat's ass.
Right.
How big the party was.
Okay, yeah.
And like, even as a kid, my most memorable birthday party is one that was at my grandma's house, and it was just family. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't even know if I had any friends there. Maybe like 2. But I remember you were there.
Yeah.
I remember Aaron was there. I remember my grandma was there.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I don't remember if there were any friends there.
See, and when I think about my birthdays, I don't remember like the decorations.
Me either.
I don't remember the presents. I remember like doing things with friends or family. And that's kind of it. You know?
My first memory is of a birthday. Is of mine. My 3rd.
Okay.
And I remember you being there.
My memory is not good, so.
I remember, I don't know what triggers it to be like your first memory, but if I like search back and I comb in my brain, it's the furthest back I can go. And I'm fairly confident. It was my 3rd birthday. Whenever I describe it to my mom, she's like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
And it was at my grandma's house.
Okay.
And it was at her big house.
Okay.
And I remember it was back when she had the rail in the entryway.
Okay.
And she had like a table along the back wall with a big mirror. Mm-hmm. And she had like a corner chair over here, or it was a rocker.
Yes.
Okay. And they had helium balloons. And I remember Aaron did the and made his voice really high pitched.
Okay.
I think that might be what triggered it to be like my first memory, is because that was my first time ever seeing someone do the helium trick thing. But yeah, I remember you being there.
Okay.
And it's like a happy thing for me to be like, my first memory has Mandee in it.
Aww, that is really sweet.
I don't think your first memory has me, because I don't think I was alive yet.
I think I don't remember like my first memory.
But your first memory is like as far back as you can remember, is what I mean by that.
The first birthday party, though, that I remember was when we lived in College Place, Washington, which was right by Walla Walla. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very vague. But it was like a plastic, the plastic, what would you call that?
The fun house, or what are we talking about here?
It's like a play set, but it's the plastic ones that are really small. Like the box ones. They're like colored.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
talking about like a pretend house?
Kind of, but it's like the ones you can climb, and then there's a tiny slide. But they're really little.
Okay, I know what you're talking
plastic.
about.
They're probably like from the little tyke or whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we had one of those, and we also had the table version of that. So it was just a plastic table, but it was the same like material. Mm-hmm. And
I have one of those tables.
I don't remember the friends, but it was like a couple of other little kids, and we were playing on that. And that's all I remember. And I'm pretty sure it was a birthday.
Okay.
I also had quite a few birthdays at Chuck E. Cheese.
I think I did too.
Or I at least went to a lot of birthdays at Chuck E. Cheese. I think that was with the cousins that I lived near. Mm-hmm. And even you. Mm-hmm.
I had a couple there.
That was just like the place to have your party.
It was, yeah.
Was Chuck E. Cheese. So a lot of memories with birthdays I correlate with Chuck E. Cheese.
Sounds about right. Mm-hmm. Checks out.
Yeah.
That's kind of like same.
Yeah.
Places like that are getting so expensive,
I
though.
know. And that's the other thing is, I always go back and forth between, do I just try to do something small at home? Or a lot of times I use my mom's house because we do have a lot more people. Or do I fork out the money, especially because it's around the holidays, for another event? Or do I just, keep it small and keep it at home? Because things rack up really fast.
Yeah.
Really fast.
The more people you invite, the more expensive it becomes. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, the other thing too is it's like when you're trying to think of like, who do I invite? You have to think of space. Mm-hmm. And you have to think of, well, how much is this going to cost me if I am going somewhere? You know, because some places have like packages too. Mm-hmm. Or like, for $100 for 10 guests or whatever. But then if you have that 11th person.
Right. Then you have to bump up. And now it's like $250 for
just add an additional person.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, but if I don't invite you, then people are going to be pissed. Mm-hmm. And then it's all about pleasing everybody else. Mm-hmm. I just want the simple life.
I know. That was honestly like one reason why, I know this is kind of off topic, but this is one reason why we kept our wedding so small.
Same.
Is because we didn't want if I invite you, I have to invite you. And if I invite you, I have to invite you. And now I've invited like 250 people and holy crap, I can't pay for this.
That was literally why we eloped. Mm-hmm. Me and my husband got married in our living room.
Yeah. We had a small backyard wedding at my mom's.
Yeah. And we literally did it because so many people were just disagreeing with choices that we were making. Mm-hmm. We even had people disagreeing with our wedding colors and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, granted, looking back now, I'm very glad we didn't, because it would have been way too bright for minimalist me now, because the wedding colors were teal and red.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because, I was 18. So we were like, we'll do our favorite colors. His being red and mine being teal. It didn't look awful together, but it would have been Right.
It sounds like it would have clashed.
It didn't.
Okay.
I had like a Pinterest. I'll have to see if I can find it. But like, it was only going to be certain spots. Like, it was going to be black and white with pops of these colors.
Oh, okay. Yep. So it wouldn't have been terrible.
Nope. And it was
you now though would probably been like,
oh yeah, me now looks at that and being like,
that was a choice.
I'm glad we didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's why you don't get married at 18. Because you are stupid.
Your ideas change.
Yes. If I could go back and do it now, I would be doing like the dusty purple gray color. Mm-hmm. And then, or like a periwinkle, like a muted periwinkle as like the only color.
Right.
And then black and white, everything else.
I feel that. Nowadays, I just try to, I think, so I had a struggle with inviting a bunch of people. One, because it's going to cost me a whole
$1 million.
lot of money.
Yeah.
But also, I just didn't want like a massive wedding. I've just never been that girl. I've never been like the 10-year-old who's been planning her wedding of her dreams. Like, I just never was that girl.
Yeah. I mean, I did that a little bit, but not a ton.
I just wasn't.
No.
I don't even think I think I always wanted like a husband and a family.
Yeah.
But I never cared about the wedding. It was kind of just like, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah. It 100% did. That's kind of why when we did decide to elope, I was just like, okay, that it's a choice we're making, right, and we're doing it. But that even pissed off a lot of people.
And that's the thing. And circling back to birthdays, I try to do it now where I only invite people who have, obviously the kids' best interest, but also typically I try to invite people who have kids because it's for him, Yeah. Well, I'm saying him because Maverick's the only one who's had a party for me. But I'm not going to invite like a whole bunch of people that, I have to pay for.
Yeah.
When this sounds so bad.
I know what you're trying to say.
I know that they're there for him, but I'm trying to plan a party where he's having a blast with little kids.
I feel like that's where having more than one party can come into play. Having like a family one where it's like everybody else that doesn't have kids, and then having a kid-centered party where you go off and do something fun. Right. Whether it's as simple as taking them to the park. Right. Yeah, literally. That's the only downside about having our November babies. We can invite everybody to the park, but we're gonna have to bundle up tight. Bundle up. It probably is going to be raining. Yeah, it's chaos. That's like, I've thought about doing a party at the place that you did Damon's last year or the year before. It was last year. I had just had Ellie. That's right. So at the jump place. So basically renting out that room to have a big party for all like the adults and the kids, only paying for the kids to jump. And then afterwards, like, okay, well, you can either pay to stay and jump, or we're done with the party and now the kids can just go have fun. Because like we've said, I'm not going to pay a bunch of money for everybody. That's just, it's too much, and it's too much at that time of the year. And then like with the costs of everything going up, because I mean, I'll say it, businesses are greedy. And they capitalize on the fact that parents end up in these binds where they have to. And they're like, well, they're going to pay for it regardless of how much it costs. Right. And so, we end up in these binds of being like, okay, well, we have to. Well, and like you said, I don't want to invite all these people and be like, but you have to pay for yourself. Yeah. But it's like, what are you supposed to do if you can't afford it? Exactly. Do you just not give your kid a party? I know. And that's the struggle, I think. Yeah. Is, do I fork out all this money or hope that they'll pay for themselves? Yep. And risk them not coming because they also don't want to pay for that. Which I don't blame anybody. Yeah. Because I'm already struggling, Exactly. And then at the same time, them getting your kid a gift and... Exactly. So now they've forked out, in today's world, let's say you spent $30 on a gift, went to that jump place, that's like, what was it? 20 or $30 for like an hour? I think so. Or 2 hours. I think we did 2 hours. So then you're close to $100 because if you count food too. Yep.
there's $100 you just spent on somebody else's kid's party.
Yep.
Not everybody has that, or not everybody wants to do that.
Yeah. And then you look at it from the mom's perspective. She also spent $30 plus on a gift.
Yeah.
Plus, paying for 5 kids to jump. That's, 5 plus 20. That's like 100 kids just to go, not including food, the cake, any of that stuff. So it's like $300 we're looking at. And
now
it's
add the food.
Yeah, now add the food. And it's like, paychecks aren't getting any bigger.
Right. I guess I never thought of that growing up. And Mom, if you're listening, thank you for all the birthdays ever.
Same.
Because thank God my mom never made me feel that way, but I never thought about a cost when it came to a birthday. I wasn't having elaborate parties either, but even just a basic party can cost you like $200-$300.
Yeah.
Just basic, just doing one small event and food and gifts. And then you tack on decorations, which the kids don't even care about.
I don't know if I even remember a single. I know that my mom did.
Exactly.
But I don't think I remember any of them.
Yeah. I think the only decoration I ever remember from birthdays are the balloons. And that's because kids always play with balloons. I can't even remember a theme.
I'm trying to think. Did I have a Bratz themed one? Do you remember anything like that? That's the only one that's like maybe ringing a bell for me.
That sounds familiar. Now that you say it, it sounds familiar.
Okay.
But
maybe.
I can't even think of.
But I can't pinpoint what it looked like.
I think I had like a pink. Maybe it was Barbie.
Okay. I think I remember something along those lines.
But I really don't remember. And so I try to think of that for myself. Like, I didn't remember that. And so my kids probably aren't either. So I just try to make it more eventful versus like elaborate decorations. I did get a lot of decorations for Maverick's first because he was my first and I was really excited.
Yep, that's what I did for Anna's too. But Damon's, I gave him
decorations.
some like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
At least not getting any.
I don't blame you. It's like I want to have for Quincy's first, I want to do her fairy first birthday. And so I want to have a fairy theme, but I also don't want to like go crazy on the decorations,
Yeah. Quincy's also your first girl.
I know.
Ellie's my second.
I know.
And my third kid in general. Oh, what they say about subsequent kids is true, and I hate it.
That's what I mean. That's what I was trying to say earlier, and I didn't want to come off like... It's not that you hate your kids or that you like them any less as they come down the line. It's just you realize what's important as they come down the line.
You do. And you start to do things differently.
Yeah. You learn that, okay, the $100 I spent on decorations for the last party, they didn't even look at them or care. So this party, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not doing that.
So then it looks like you gave less. But I think they're having equal amount of fun at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Birthdays.
Which I am going to see. I'm going to talk to my manager. I'm going to try to do that today to see if we can use the clubhouse on Friday.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So that it doesn't have to be in my living room.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
And I have to make sure that they're going to have the AC on.
Please. I might be sick that... I'm just kidding.
Mandee.
I'm just kidding. I will be there. Yeah. Ugh. It's hard. And then I've also heard of people who do, like they'll do a trip instead. So they don't really invite anybody unless somebody's willing to completely pay for themselves. But like we're going to a water park, or what was the one we were just talking about? Water park. Lodge.
Oh, Great Wolf Lodge.
Great Wolf Lodge. Thank you.
Yep.
I've seen some people, they'll just... That's what we're doing for your birthday. We're going on a trip instead of a party.
Yeah.
I think it's just, again, that can be expensive too, but then you're only taking your kid and it's an event.
Yep.
I like the event aspect of things.
Me too. And then it's like, if you go on a trip, do you invite a friend?
Right. But I feel like at that point, it's you're more than welcome to come, but we're not paying for anybody.
Yeah.
And
then too, if one kid goes on a trip, but the other ones don't,
right,
then they're getting pissy. So as a mom now, because obviously we've experienced birthdays as a child, does it just stress you out?
So much. so much. I get like so excited for it until I realize that, oh wait, I have to plan that. It's not just I go.
That's how I felt about Ellie's. I kind of kept putting it off. And then like at a week before I really needed to be hosting it because you guys are leaving next week.
Yeah.
I was like,
you're like, oh,
I still haven't even bought her a gift yet.
Same. I have to go either today or tomorrow.
Same.
I'm probably just going to get her clothes.
Yeah. Please don't get her toys.
Right. I remember. Oh, that's right. You said something.
Yep.
I'm usually, I'm a closed book kind of gal.
Yep. That's kind of...
Closed book or one small toy.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm sitting. She plays with everything in my house.
Right.
And so I'm like, some of the toys that she has gotten previously from like my mom, she just doesn't really play with as much. Because she wants to play with what the big kids are playing with.
Yep.
So like if me and Thomas are playing with a video game, she's playing with the extra controller that we have that doesn't work. If the two older kids are playing with the farm animals, she's also playing with the farm animals.
Right.
If they're playing with blocks, she's playing with blocks. She copies them.
Yeah.
And at no point do they ever play with little baby toys, so she's not playing with baby toys.
I don't want to play with that.
Sometimes she will if she's by herself, and she has to choose. Which I do try to have her do that sometimes, where like so she can do independent play.
Right.
But that doesn't happen a lot because the older kids want to play with her.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, I think for this last party that we went to, I got 2 outfits and this like, I think it was like $3 or $5 bubble blower.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't 100% know what I'm doing for her own thing. So I have to go figure that out probably today.
That's the other thing with gifts is at this age, like 1, even 2, I feel like they kind of don't really care.
They don't. It's like
I guess 2 a little bit more. But
even then at that second birthday, sometimes they're just like, ah, and then it's over.
Yep. It's exciting in the moment. And then they're like, okay, can I run around now and go play?
Whereas like I feel like at the 3rd birthday, that's when they're truly like, ah, and they get excited and want to rip it open.
Like Maverick actually has full-blown interests now. And so I know that I can get him themed things that he will actually enjoy.
Yep.
So,
which is what you did already.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah.
Birthdays are hard.
Birthdays are hard.
And the more kids you have, the harder it gets.
Because you try to keep it fair.
It's not possible.
It's impossible.
Especially too, because it's like, I try to do it less on like how much money I'm spending and more about what value they're getting out of it.
Right.
Because I think that it should be on like a happiness scale versus a how much money am I spending? How big is it?
Right.
Because I've never liked the money thing. I remember when I was growing up, for Christmas is a good example. I'm like, oh, well, I got you a couple small things to keep it even. And then it would be like small things I didn't care about.
Right.
And then it was like, okay, yeah, the amount of things I got is the same, but I don't like half of what I got.
Right. You would rather just combine 3 into 1 to actually get what you want.
Exactly. That's, but I grew up with the same amount model. And I'm right now when they're little and they don't understand that, I'm kind of doing a little bit more. Anna, however, is starting to get into the transition of more what she wants versus more actual gifts. Yeah. And this past Christmas was actually the first year that she had 1 gift less than the other 2. I mean, Ellie had got 1 present, just period. Yeah. Because she was 6 months old. Yep. But Damon technically had more, but I actually spent more on her. And it was because her things were more specific to her versus him being like, these are probably things he'll like.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And she still to this day loves what I got her. Uses them every single day because I got her like a blanket, a fan for her bed, and like a pillow, and then I think a couple other small things. Yeah. Obsessed with them. Yeah. And still to this day thanks me for them. Right. I love my fan, Mom. I'm so happy. Now that it's hot, it's just like, this is my godsend.
Oh, gosh, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like definitely versus, I think right now when they're little, well, mine are little. I think if Quincy was a little older, I would try to keep it somewhat the same amount just because I feel like there could be that, well, I want another one. Well, how come they get more kind of a thing? Yeah. But as they get older, I would rather them enjoy their gifts versus oh, I have to get him another one because I got her another one kind of a thing.
Yep. I've also determined that I think that for like Christmas, I know we're talking about birthdays, but I mean, presents kind of falls under both.
Right.
Is for Christmas this next year, I'm going to give them all of their presents at once and have them just open it in no specific order.
Okay.
Because I've determined if there's a specific order, then they recognize how many presents there are.
True. If it's just like, here's your pile, here's your pile, here's your pile.
Yep. Because then if it's like, oh, Anna starts and then Damon and then Anna and then Damon and then Anna and then Damon and then Damon and then Damon and then Damon.
Right.
I mean, it's never that drastic. But,
right.
But you notice it more that way versus
true.
if you are opening up your stuff and then you're getting to look at your stuff. Maybe you're starting to get it actually open and using it. And then the other person's opening their stuff and you don't notice.
That's true. That's a good idea.
But anyways, with the amount of presents, I think it really just, I think it should be more so what they want, because like, let's say you do have a genuine budget you have to stick with, and let's say it's $200. Let's say they want something that is $150, but oh, I need to get my kid at least 5 gifts because so and so got 5 gifts. Then do they not get the thing that they want because either that or they're getting the one thing that they want and then like you get a cheap thing that you don't care about? Like,
yeah, I think especially as you get older, I personally would have rather had the thing that I wanted versus just a bunch of gifts.
Exactly. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
But yeah, I think you got to do the best you can. Stick to budgets.
Yeah. The budget's the hardest part.
Yeah. Literally. Budgets definitely suck.
Yeah.
It's hard to stick to them. But yeah, I think we just do the best we can. Birthdays are fun, but they're also a big source of stress.
Yeah. I can see why some people don't celebrate them.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely want to celebrate them. Like, I don't want to go down that route just because it's easier.
Right, yeah.
You know, and it's just about trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, I agree.
One birthday at a time.
One birthday at a time. One kid at a time.
I'm just glad you and I can work together
when
it comes to planning our fall babies.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
that makes it a lot easier.
Imagine if you and I had been like
well, I'm having it this day, so it gets figured out.
Yeah. Then, oh gosh. Yeah, then it would just be its own pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I would almost prefer it if well, actually, I don't know if I would have, to have like Quincy and Ellie, their birthdays be really close together, and like Maverick and Damon being close together. Because
so
then
they could like share a birthday kind of a thing.
Kind of. Yeah. Or at least like the family one. But I don't know if that would have been better, because then they would be sharing their birthday.
Right.
Just a lose-lose situation. Yeah, it is. No matter what.
I know my dad was saying, he was like, well, because Quincy and Maverick's birthdays are fairly close together, you could just do joint parties. And I'm like, I feel like that only works for so long.
It does. Thomas has like his sister, one of his sisters, her birthday is really close to his. Like, there's only like a 2 weeks or whatever in between. Because she's, I think, June 19th or something like that. And so he always had to share. And it always catered to her.
Right.
It was always her theme, whatever she wanted. And then he got dragged along. And then he had less friends than her. And so he would only get to invite like one. And then she would have an entire party to herself.
Right.
This is also the golden child that we're talking about, though.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't surprise me at all. But.
Yeah, I just feel like they don't. I mean, sometimes I think they can work, but other times it's just, I would imagine it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, like we literally had, I think it was the last birthday that Thomas ever spent with his mom. I got to go, and it was when we went to Mount Hood here in Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
And it was on his birthday. But it got to be counted as Caitlin's too.
Lame.
I
feel like if you do a joint party, you have to like work even harder to make sure, there is at least some of a separation. Because yes, the party, maybe that means, like, I could see it when they're older almost, more so when they're younger. Because let's say they're both in grade school and they both have like 10 friends each. Then you could have like one big party. But I don't know. I almost think that would be more expensive though too.
It also works better if they're both the same gender.
Yeah.
Because like how do you have a boy party and a girl party at the same time?
Yeah.
Without it catering in one direction or another, unless it's completely unthemed. But then even so, like,
yeah, I don't know how that would work. I feel like almost it would work kind of how you did Damon's, where we just went to jump. Like, it was just a bunch of kids jumping and you said that it was for both kids.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like if you wanted to do like a sit down cake party, it would not work as well.
Yeah, because I think he even said that like the cakes that they had would be whatever she wanted. He didn't get to choose. And it was like after she was born, and he's only like 7 years older than her. So he got like 7 of like his specific birthdays.
Oh, see, and that's weird to me.
And so he doesn't...
And a 1-year-old?
Right?
Or, you know what I mean?
And so he doesn't celebrate birthdays for himself.
Weird.
Every single year, he's like, it's just a day.
That sucks.
Because he doesn't really remember celebrating birthdays for like just him.
Oh. It's unfortunate. That's like Michael's birthday is the 19th. So it's really close, December 19th. So it's,
to be specific.
So it's really close to Christmas. So I always try to make an effort to separate his birthday, because I feel like his birthday was always kind of just, well, it's really close to Christmas.
Yep. And Thomas's is like literally the day before the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And so everybody's gone.
Yep.
Which for him is part of the reason why they ended up doing stuff early, which then kind of fell into Caitlin's birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And either like you do it late and you run into people still being gone for their big, you know, the 4th of July camping trip or whatever.
Yep.
Or you do it early and hope that they haven't left yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, I kind of got that same thing with Damon a little bit.
Right.
You know, we're not going to the family reunion anymore.
Oh.
We decided to cancel.
Okay.
And so instead of having his birthday party the week before what I was going to do, now I'm going to do it.
The week of.
The week of. Because that's what I was going to do anyways. And so they were like, just kidding. Family reunion's going to be the day after your son's birthday. Like, that's fun. But now I'm not going, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Mainly because they were like, you need to pay money to come now. And we're like, I can't afford that. I'm sorry.
Oh, got it. They just threw that one in.
Kind of, yeah.
Nice.
They basically were like, here's the menu for the family reunion. You either need to bring food in very large quantities or pay a certain amount to this other person who spent a fortune buying food. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. No. Yeah. So I'm not going.
That's dumb.
Plus, I didn't really want to take 3 kids camping anyways. 3 little tiny babies camping.
Yeah.
Chaos. Anyways.
Anyway.
This was a fun topic.
Yeah. Birthdays. Birthdays are fun. Birthdays are hard.
They're both.
Yeah.
They're fun for the person getting them.
Yep.
Not so much for the parents.
Not for the person giving it.
Speaking really quick. Social media. Makes it a million times worse.
Yes.
I think that's a whole other, like, I mean, we already talked about social media, but I feel like we need to have a topic just around, like, how holidays and birthdays are on social media events. Yeah.
Ugh.
That's a future topic.
Yeah. We will do that.
We'll do that.
Because I got some thoughts.
Me too.
All right. Well, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell us what you're doing for your kids' party. Give us ideas.
Make sure you share this with a friend. Maybe you have a friend who's stressing out over birthdays and we can relate.
We are too.
Same.
So we will see you guys in next week's episode.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.